TMR Tours at Magic Kingdom. Today we're doing our preview of Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
So this morning at 7 a.m. I joined the virtual queue for the Passholder Preview, and now we're going to head all the way back to New Frontierland and check her out.
Join us for a ride through and then an honest review from some die-hard Splash Mountain fans as well as production people. We're not going to sugarcoat our review, but we will give you an honest review. We're not going to necessarily also just go so negative. We're trying to be optimistic and open-minded. As we approached the attraction, we noticed the waterfall wasn't on, the water was drained from the flume, and a lot of boats were lined up. So not a great sign right here in the morning. So made our way over here to Tiana's. It was down this morning. It was down yesterday. So kind of a trend through a lot of the Passholder previews is it's been not opening with the park, keeping down, and even going down kind of early morning.
Yeah, so it didn't open with the park today. It did run for a very short time, and then it's been down ever since. Yeah. And we had a very early boarding group, so they only got through a few. Like
1 through 20. And there's a sneaky suspicion here of kind of open it once you get things up and running. And I have a feeling, because Disney is smart, they're doing this in a way of they don't want to overheat, overwork any of the stuff. And obviously it going down could be technical issues, but I have a feeling it's also so they don't have to open that 1 o'clock time slot, which may or may not be true, speculation at this point. But the fact that they don't have to open a second group, then you don't have people waiting for hours just to get in the virtual queue, because as we've seen, people haven't been getting in. So having a lot of people then go to guest services to be like, I joined the 1 o'clock crew and we didn't even get on that waiting group. So it might be a way that they're closing it around 10, 11, even after it's been open for a little while or not open at all. And then they can cancel the 1 o'clock Passholder previews and then only work through the day with that original morning time slot. Again, this is our own speculation, not necessarily factual, but that seems like it's kind of been the trend that after 1 o'clock it's been opening and then staying open the rest of the day. So if you get that early morning time slot and you're in the like 30s, 40s group, just know you might not get on until after 1 o'clock. Yeah. Just a thing.
Just keep an eye on your phone, the best you can do. Our time slot has, like I said, come and gone, but we checked in with the cast here and guest experience team. They said that they would honor our previous reservation even though the time has passed. So
sure.
Still hoping to get on if it opens.
After waiting some time, as well as much anticipation, we finally got on for previews around 2:30. And being boarding group 24, that took a significant amount of time of hanging out and finding other things to do in the Frontierland area. During our first walk through the queue, you can tell the Imagineers took a lot of time to put a lot of effort into the queue itself. Obviously, some aspects still feel a little like Splash Mountain. Even the smell still resides in those caves and tunnels, but it does have that Tiana's and Princess and the Frog vibe. The loading station was really well themed, colorful, vibrant, and it looks like a port where they would get their food and supplies delivered for the restaurant. Really good, on point for the theme. As you exit that first lift hill, you get a good view of the water tower going down into the first Bayou scene that is in front of the attraction. Lots of great foliage and things to look at here. They did a really good job filling this and bringing it to life. One thing to note that a lot of people are not too happy with is the splash from Splash Mountain is gone. So as you're entering the water wheel station, you don't get that plume of water that splashes the boat. This feature added a nice visual and sound to Splash Mountain itself that a lot of people were disappointed that it went away. But this also allows you to not get soaked every time you ride the attraction.
Welcome, y'all. Let's meet up with Louis and find some musicians for our party. Look out, Bayou, here we come.
As Tiana just stated, the whole theme and story to this ride is that you're gathering members of a band to play at the party at the end of this attraction. So you're going around finding various members to add to the group. This first scene with Lewis in it has some old Disney animatronic vibes as the plants themselves move and not Lewis. This is a very classic technique that's used in other dark rides. Brings things to life without doing too much. This first straightaway does leave more to be desired because on the original Splash Mountain attraction, you had all kinds of various animal homes and houses, lots to look at. Now it's kind of just garden scenes, nothing really wrong with them. The various gardens do look really nice, but there's a lot less character overall on this first straightaway. For those who liked the charm and the overall storytelling of Splash Mountain, introducing a bunch of different characters, not just Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and Brer Rabbit, you had a lot more tangible story elements throughout the attraction. This one does a good job of telling the story, but it leaves more to be desired throughout the attraction. Going down what was Slip and Falls into that first Bayou tunnel scene, you get a lot of great foliage. Now, one thing throughout this attraction is they did do a good job creating that Bayou foliage with hanging plants, flowers, but again, with how many animatronics were in Splash Mountain before, it does leave a little bit of stagnancy throughout the attraction. But I will say, the animatronics they added are leaps and bounds better than Splash Mountain.
Tiana, what you know? This Dollar Cocaine, she found to play. Hallelujah!
So we finally got on after a lot of waiting. Everyone flooded the gate for it, but obviously the 1 o'clock boarding groups were not allowed. They canceled those. But we did get on. It was about, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock when we got on? Probably 3.
It was closer to 3. Our boarding group was 24, so we in theory should have been on this morning.
Long time. Anyway, so what were your thoughts overall?
First initial reaction is that it felt shorter than Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just that there's a lot of dead space because it's in the bayou at night as opposed to during the day in the forest and briar patch, etc. So there are scenery and sets which are really nice, like all the bayou stuff, the greenery, the foliage. They did a really great job. Very reminiscent of the Blue Bayou at Disneyland, as well as Navi River Journey. But again, bayou effects. But yeah, the dark spots, I don't know. There's just as opposed to being elaborate scenery with scenes, there's these moments where these bands are playing, and it just for some reason it feels shorter.
Yeah, it might be because of those dark spots. It's very directional. So there's a scene on your right, you look to the right. The next scene is on your left, you look to the left, and so there is nothing to look at in between. You just look here, you look there. And there's nothing. They're
doing a lot to direct your attention to those moments. Lots of great animatronics. I mean, the animatronics were amazing. A little bit of old and new because some of them have mild motion, almost like a Small World or Country Bear Jamboree. But then you have the newer age animatronics, which are really elaborate. They weren't all functioning to their full maximum abilities, but most of them were. Those alone as a takeaway, animatronics, phenomenal. The lighting, really good. The scenery was good. There's a little bit more to be desired in some of that set dressing, but
yeah. So what I think Ryan means is greens. Their job was to fill it with greenery and flowers. Great job, awesome, killed it, super. Animatronics, killed it, great. Your visual effects with your projections and things, killed it, great. Not a lot of set deck.
Yeah,
sorry, set deck.
Yeah, scenery is yeah.
So yeah.
There's a little bit more to be desired there. I mean, with the old Splash Mountain, obviously there was the little houses and things. So there was a little less in the storytelling for that. And a lot of it, again, the story itself is just you're gathering a band for the party. So even that is there's not a huge story other than you're gathering a band.
the big party scene at the end, the finale scene, I thought was really impressive.
Yeah, a
there's
little bit of
lots-
everything.
There's a lot to look at there, and I wish there was more of that throughout the rest, but then I guess that would diminish the finale scene.
Yeah, so there's lots of animatronics, even some projections, some statues, like stationary. Again, they really did a good job. Obviously, if you come looking for Splash Mountain and the elaborateness of what that was, you're gonna want more out of it. But as far as paying an homage to the characters and continuing the story of Princess and the Frog, they did a great job.
Also, in terms of Disney ride, I think that they tried to make it a little less scary.
Yes.
There was a little bit of some impending doom going into the drop, and some kids found that scary. This did not. There is no Shadow Man, so there is no scary element really to this storyline at all. So it was just fun the whole time.
Yeah, and as you're going up the hill, again, during the day you don't see it as much, but at night there's supposedly, we only rode it the once, as you're going up the hill, there's like a beam of light you're going, it has old reminiscence of the original lift of Maelstrom. So again, there's some old and new techniques between older animatronics with the newer technology, as well as the older, some old lighting effects with some newer projection effects. And of course the original water jumps in the laughing place scene when you shrink down. That was really cool. When you shrink down to being tiny, there's like the jumbo bottles, again, kind of reminiscent of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area, Toy Story, that sort of thing. So a lot of cool things, cool moments.
Yeah, definitely. Overall, I liked it. It's not Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's my most favorite ride.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
I'm not going to sit here and diminish the job they did, because they did a great job. I do wish, up that budget a little bit and fill in some of those blank spots, and it could have been the greatness I think everyone was expecting. But it's an awesome ride. You will enjoy it, especially if your kids really enjoy Tiana and Princess and the Frog. You're not much to complain about. It's a fun ride on a hot day, get a little wet, and just kind of have fun.
Have a good time.
Yeah. So that's the TMR Tour Honest Review. Good lighting, good scenery and foliage. There could be more scenery and foliage, but good scenery and foliage, good effects, great animatronics, and they just need to tweak and get all of the technical mumbo jumbo so it's working and not going down every few hours.
Yeah, because you're going to want to ride it.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah. So that's our review. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Stacy.
And if it helped you out and gave you more insight, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments if you want to ride it, have rode it, and what you thought of it. So.
And we will see you on another adventure.
Remember, it's party